Welcome to Coleman Report Live. I'm Bob Coleman. We're talking Main Street and the small business lenders who help it grow. Big news out of the Wall Street Journal. Meredith, McGraw, Scott Peterson wrote this article that says SBA is to cut 2,700 jobs from the agency, 40% of its employee workforce. Now, there's a couple ways to look at this, but number one, first of all, the numbers are going to go back to pre-pandemic COVID-19 levels. So they're saying the agency has grown its workforce, and we're going to cut back on that. For those of you who know me, I am optimistic. I don't want to look for the negatives on this. I will say this is not USAID or the Department of Education where they've said we're eliminating the program. It's not there. There is a commitment that we are going to have an SBA program, just cutting back on the employees. I'm going to lead with SBA administrator's closing statement. Quote, in short, we will make Main Street great again. In her testimony, she said President Trump is committed to SBA. He says small business is big business. So this is not a situation where we were cutting back on the programs. They're making it very clear. She wants to be more efficient, and you can have the discussion whether she's right or not. I'm not going to get into that. This is not a political, I'm taking one side or the other. I'm saying these are the facts. This is her opinion. And as they say in Washington, reality is 100% of perception. So this is what we have to go with. She's saying it's been mismanaged. And this is the quote specifically. I'm committed to restoring SBA's mission of promoting America's small businesses. So we're not cutting the program, but she says we have a problem. Specifically, our largest, for 4 years, the agency has failed to pass their audit from their accounting audit. Our largest loan program, which should operate at a zero cost to taxpayers, saw negative cash flow for the first time in over a decade. I'm not going to quibble with the numbers. It has a negative cash flow, but it's still at a zero subsidy. It's not as dire as other people report on that. Then she says we have over 200 billion B with the B, a fraud that needs to be investigated. The agency needs to do that, and that's why change is coming. Quote, the SBA is getting back to work. Again, positive. It needs to get back to our founding mission of empowering America's job creators. So even though we have these dire headlines, the cuts are not to the core program. And I want to conclude my remarks on this, is on the staffing levels. They're saying that after COVID, and PPP obviously was a huge part of that, almost $1 trillion, and that's what the T of funds went out there. So the agency had a lot of different directions. She also said, we are not going to cut back on disaster. That's important to us. So while those cuts are there, I hope and I predict that is simply going to make the agency more efficient in how they operate. We'll find out if I'm right or not. Thank you for joining us today for Coleman Report Live and for supporting America's Main Street, one entrepreneur at a time.